Today's gonna be exciting!
I have watermelons on my boobies.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Kenzie. If you did not know that, now you know. And guys, today I wanted to bring to you a review and demo of the new Zodiac Palette by Kathleen Lights X Colourpop. That is right, you guys. Now, if you do not know, there is a YouTuber named Kathleen Lights, and she has released a collaboration with the company called Colourpop Cosmetics. And she has done one other one in the past, and this is her new one that just got released a few days ago. And I picked it up. I really thought it was adorable, so I want to review it. Now, a quick little backstory on Kathleen. Now, I knew of her. I knew she had a channel. I knew she was a beauty guru on the internet, but I had never watched any of her videos. I don't know why. I just hadn't. I don't have a real reason to. But I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this palette pop up on the Colourpop's Instagram feed. I thought, whoa, this is really, really cool. I didn't even realize it was a collaboration until I clicked on the post and like read a lot of the stuff. I read it and I was like, oh, I've heard of this girl. I bought this literally out of like intrigue of the concept, if you know what I mean. So after I saw the post and I looked at the actual palette, I love the concept of the zodiac, star signs, I couldn't even think of the word, and the mythology element behind it. If you do not know about me, I really, really love mythology. All pantheons, so Greek, Hindu, Mayan, Roman, Egyptian, any kind of mythology I actually really, really enjoy, and I actively just study it in my everyday life because I think it's fascinating. So when I saw this, I haven't seen a palette like this before that deals with the zodiac and mythology and astrology and stuff like that, so I was really intrigued. So I looked on the website, or I looked on the Instagram page, and then I went to YouTube, watched my very first Kathleen's Lights video, and here I am today. The video that I watched of hers was when she revealed this exact palette. So that's the first one that I watched. So now I have watched more of her now that I really know who she is. Well, not like know who she is, but like I know her videos. You know what I mean. But the first thing I want to do is go ahead and swatch this for you guys because I am very excited. We are going to do a pretty eye look today. As you can see, I've already done my skin, foundation, bronzer, concealer, all that good stuff. So if you would like to see my review slash demo of the new Zodiac palette, then keep on watching. Open this baby up. As you can see, here is the unicarton. It is black and it's really, really pretty, and as you can see here, it has a lot of the different constellation zodiac signs. There's Taurus over here. I believe that one is Sagittarius, and here I am right down here. I am a Gemini, and I actually really love being a Gemini. And then when you pull it out, the actual palette is blue. So this is really cool. I actually love this packaging. It feels really nice. It almost feels sort of velvety, but it's not velvet, but it kind of has that feeling to it. So here are all of, again, same zodiacs, but they are gold on a blue background, and then we turn it around, it has all of the shades on the back as well. So now when you open it up, here is what they all look like. So I'm going to start from down here and do a little pan of all of these just so you can see what they all look like. I do think each of these colors are very, very pretty. I think that it has a lot of range in the palette, that you can do multiple eye looks. It can be a very fun eye look, or you can stick to something a little more simple and natural. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you guys. If you can see, there is a mirror inside, so that is awesome. I want to go ahead and swatch, let's do Pisces right down here because I love this pretty I said purple. Wow, this really pretty greenish blue seafoam. That's beautiful already. And then let's do mine. Let's do the Gemini. That's very pretty gold. And then let's do Aquarius right down here because I think that looks beautiful. And then let's do one more. So I've got 2 shimmers already and 1 matte. Let's go for another matte. Let's do Virgo. All right, so I've got all 4. Looking at these so far, they felt very creamy going into it. I'll show you these swatches on the hand first, on my fingertips right there, and we're gonna go ahead and start with Virgo right here. We're just gonna do it on the palm here. So there's that one. I think that one actually came out really nicely. Oops, I did that one by accident. So let's go ahead and do Gemini right beside it. Oh, that is very pretty. That's very pigmented as well. I like that a lot. And then next to it we have Pisces. Oh, that's also beautiful. I was actually a little worried about the Pisces one just because it is so shiny. I didn't know if it was going to pick up as well, but it really did. And then very last one here we have Aquarius. I think that one is a little bit more fair, like a little bit more sheer, but that's okay. That's definitely not something to like be super mad about. But I think starting off, these ones are really, really pretty so far. I gotta wipe my hands off now. So I did think these swatched pretty well actually. I did notice that the Aquarius color is a little bit more sheer, if that makes any sense. It does take maybe a little bit more. Maybe I didn't give it a fair enough shot. Let me try it one more time here. And let's just do it on my... Yeah, so this one is definitely going to be a more sheer shade, it looks like. I did a few rubs in it and it did come out a little bit, not powdery, but it was just a little fair. Now, one thing that I did notice when I first opened this up, when I first took it out of the box, or the bag, I noticed that it was a little bit smaller than I was expecting. Now, I've never used a Colourpop eyeshadow palette before in my life, so I am not aware of the sizes. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger, which is not a complaint. I honestly had just no idea. I actually think the size is really nice. It's quite compact. It's not too bulky. You can fit this right down in your makeup bag, and it won't really get in the way. Yeah, let's just jump right in, you guys. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit and we'll get started with the eye look. So I've got you zoomed in now, and what we're gonna do is I am gonna open this guy up, and he has a mirror. I'm so excited. So I am going to, I've already primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, so I am going to go ahead and just go in here. I mean, that's pretty much all I can do. I'm excited. So I'm going to firstly go in with a transition color using my Morphe M518 brush. I think for my transition shade, I'm going to go into the Taurus right here. That shade, I think I'm going to go into that one. Now, this palette is a bit dusty, which is okay. As long as the shadows perform well, I don't care if it has fallout. And this does have pigment. As you can see here, I may have used a little too much because I wasn't ready. But this does 100% have pigment. So that's great. Very excited about that. I literally just like put a glob of eyeshadow on because I was not expecting it to have so much pigment. I am thoroughly impressed. Now, these do not feel powdery on the eye. Like, they're not falling down. Now, of course, this is a matte shade and you don't really get fallout on matte shades all that often, but I guess it can happen. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and I'm going to tap it off this time because I've learned my lesson. So I've got the transition laid down, so what I'm going to do next is take a flat angled brush, or not an angled brush, but just a flat packing brush right here, and I'm going to go into my shade, the Gemini. This one right here, and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of the lid. Like, not the inner corner, but like this area. So firstly, I'm going to take it by itself. No, I'm not going to be using any kind of setting spray. I'm just going to take it by itself. It looks pretty packed on there, so let's go in. Okay, this is not bad at all. I think I may be able to just use this without having to set it. Yeah, that's not bad. It's actually really creamy. I don't have to use setting spray if I don't want to. Now, I am, however, going to go ahead and use some setting spray so I can see what the difference would be. So I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter right here. We're just going to go spritz spritz and do the same thing, and let's see what happens. Oh yeah, so that definitely makes a difference. It works a lot better. It worked really good to begin with, dry, but the setting spray really does make it a bit more opaque. So that's great. And I think right here is where I'm gonna stop. So we're gonna stop kind of like right in the middle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Now, one thing I am actually noticing, and you may be noticing as well as you're watching me do this, I'm not having much fallout. Like, I'm looking and I have not wiped any away. I don't even have a wipe away brush with me. I just have my eyeshadow brushes here, so I'm really not getting that much fallout at all, and I wasn't getting it when it was dry or wet, so that is really impressive. So I've got my Gemini shade on the innermost parts of my eye, so around the middle point is where we'll stop. So next I'm going to take my same packing brush and I'm going to go into the Aries shade right here. Very excited, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner. So I'm going to use the same packing brush on the other side. Got it right here, and then we are going to go on this outer here. And then just kind of like marry the two together. This one is not as pigmented as the Gemini shade, but that is okay. I think they are different finishes. I think the Aries shade may be more of like a satin finish, and the Gemini is more of like a glitter finish, so it's not as intense as the Gemini shade, like bam gold, so you can build this one up. I'm finding it's not giving me a hard time either. So as you can see right here, I do think this is really pretty. I think it's blending really nicely, and then we're just gonna take it and kind of run it down the middle area, and I'm not swiping anymore. I'm just patting this along just so we can kind of get a nice gradient. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side. And there you go, we got both eyes done there. And then what I like to do whenever I've got my lids done, I like to take a really fluffy brush and then just go in here and then just buff out the, just like where you would do the crease. Just buff this out just to make sure that there's no harsh lines going up. Make sure it's all smooth. You can go over a tiny bit on the actual lid area, but just smooth this out just like that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a small brush just like this here, just like a very small packing brush with like a dome top, and I am going to go into the shade Cancer right here, and I am going to use that as my inner corner highlight. We're going to take that and just put it directly in the inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. Oh yeah, that really works well. That's a really pretty color. Alright, and then lastly, I am going to take a little bit of Virgo right here, and I am going to use that on like a smaller, denser fluffy brush. So not as fluffy as the M5, what is it called? Not as fluffy as the M518, but this one is the M433, a little bit denser. So we are going to go into that Virgo shade, that nice chocolate brown here. Again, this one is very powdery, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. And we are going to take this and just go on the outer corner and just deepen this up just a little. Kind of drag it from the outer corner into the crease just a tad, to deepen that up. And I mean just a little, that's all you need. Okay, so that is blended out, and then I'm going to go back in with a little more of this Aries shade here, and then just reapply the orange to places that may have gotten covered up. And I have to say, the more that I'm working with the Aries color, it is a bit hard to blend out once it's like dry, and like the brush is dry right now. I mean, it's not wet at the moment, but I put it on wet too, and it worked a little better, but it was still kind of just sticking. But I still think it looks really pretty, just this one may be a tiny bit harder to use. But yeah, I just reapplied that a little bit, and that looks good. I'm liking it. And then what I'm going to do, last thing, is I'm going to take my M506 brush, this kind of little packing brush, and I am going to go in and put a little bit of, let's see, what do I want to do? What do I want to use? I am going to go in, I'm going to put in like a pop of color, and I'm going to go in with Scorpio right here, this really pretty purple. I'm going to go in, maybe I'll wet my brush for this as well. And then I am going to go in with this, and this is going to go in the bottom lash line. Just like that. I don't really put it too far down because whenever I do that, I look like I get punched in the face, and it's not a cute look for me, but I like this down here, and it did go on fairly easily. I didn't have to like rub it too hard or anything for it to go on. And that is it, you guys. I am going to go apply my mascara and eyeliner off camera and put on some lips and highlight, and then I will come back and show you the final look.
A few moments later.
Alright, you guys, the look is now complete. I've got on my lashes and eyeliner, put my lipstick on, and my highlight. Look at that. Bam! It's really pretty. It's the Sleek palette. It's really nice. It's like the Sleek Solstice highlighting palette. It works really good. But guys, this is the end of the makeup look. I really like it. Let me zoom you guys in so I can do a full once over. So starting with lips, here are them right here, but that's not what we're looking at today. Here is our eyes, and I thought most of these shadows did a great job. Now I will say that the Aries shadow and the Aquarius shadow did give me a little bit of issues, but the Aquarius shadow I didn't really use today, but the Aries one was a little splotchy at times, but that is a-okay because I made it work. And the thing is that sometimes it can happen. I'm not saying that's a bad palette by any means, but sometimes it can happen. But all the other shades that I used, I thoroughly enjoyed. But let's go back and look at these. All in all, I think this is a great palette. And one thing that I did not mention that I just thought of is that this palette is $18. So if you know ColourPop, ColourPop is known for having reasonable priced items. They are buyer friendly. Their stuff is not too expensive. So this is $18, and then with shipping, I believe I got it for like $23, something like that. And so that's not bad. That's not bad for an eyeshadow palette, and you do get for 12 colors, so $23 for 12 shades. Definitely not bad in my book. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the end of the video today, the end of the demo. I really hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, then click up that like button for me and go ahead and subscribe down there if you want to. If you want to see the videos that I post, and when I post them, click the little bells at the bottom there. Again, my name is Kenzie. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.